Okay, I'm Sandra Goodman and this is Anja Roberts. Anja is a Reiki Master Teacher like myself, and she's very drawn to crystals and gemstones. I think you'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
For me, crystals and gemstones is something I really like to work with.
And when I've been with Anja, she seems to like come alive when she's talking about crystals. So I wanted to just spend a few minutes talking to Anja and really get a feel for where it all started. You know, how long ago were you drawn to crystals, and what was it that drew you to crystals?
I started my crystal journey in 2004. A friend of mine who's also a Reiki Master Teacher, she was working very much with crystals. And she introduced me to the crystals just by hold this one and hold that one. And that is how it started, because when I then started to meditate with a particular crystal, I could really feel the benefits it was giving me. And when you then started to work with crystals and combining the crystal energy with Reiki energy, that again amplifies the energy, brings it more together,
Right.
but at the same time makes it more powerful.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's lovely. And obviously Anja's brought along a few of her crystals here, and you can see there are lots of different colours, and I think you mentioned previously that that's quite important to you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Colours, I mean, I'm not dressed colourful today, but yes, it's very much, every colour has its own frequency, its own vibration. And the same, of course, with the crystals as well. I mean, you have a quartz, which is very similar to the rose quartz from the same family. So the structure in itself, the molecules are very similar, but then, of course, the infusion of the colours of the gases and the other atoms, what was ever available on the planet when these crystals being created by the planet itself. And that is why you have so many different variations. There are 7 platonic forms, and that is what is inside these crystals. So you have the quartz family there, which the amethyst goes into the same family as the quartz. So when you're then working with a carnelian or a selenite, you can actually see with the naked eye that they are different. So, but unless you actually handling the crystals, you will not really be aware of the differences.
And when we're talking about handling, obviously, I know from my Reiki that just holding different crystals, you get a different feel when you hold those crystals. Sometimes the energy might feel sort of heavy or dense, and sometimes I've felt it feel a little bit sort of lighter, etc. So that's us sensing the vibration of those individual crystals. I must admit, one of the things I do enjoy doing is I've got a small bag of like the Reiki crystals that resonate with the different chakras. And it can be quite difficult laying them on yourself if you're doing self-healing. So what my favourite is to just put them around my chair, and if I'm doing a self-healing session in the chair, I totally agree with what you're saying. It can really kind of put a real charge to the energy and amplify that energy, and that's without them even touching my body. It's like they're changing the space.
They do. Absolutely.
And what I wanted to just touch on today, and then we'll make a separate video about it if it's okay with you, is a Reiki Crystal Grid, and sort of its uses and why somebody that does Reiki might want to invest in a few crystals and a Reiki Crystal Grid to use that as part of their practice.
That sounds like a very good idea to do, to keep these two a little bit separate. When you do practice your self-healing and you're sitting in a chair and then placing the crystals around the chair, great idea, wonderful, and it works.
It works, yeah.
But you can also do it when you're lying in bed and place them in different parts.
Yeah.
And of course, if the crystal keeps falling off, which it may does.
And of course, it depends who you're with.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Or you're lying on your own couch
Yeah.
in your own treatment room and do it that way. Yes, that's, of course, it's a good thinking. Yeah, I haven't thought of that. Oh well. And of course, we can use these crystals with our pets as well.
So how would you use it with a pet? Because they're not going to stay still for you.
Oh, first of all, you ask the your own intuition, but also asking your pet. So what you do, when you're sort of petting your dog or your cat, and then ask yourself, "Ooh, I wonder what crystal would be nice to use." Or we have bonfire night, for example. I always used rose quartz and amethyst for my late dog Jake, and he responded quite nicely to the energy.
So did you put it in his bed or?
You can either place it on his bed or under the bed, or place the crystals round the pet. Of course, if you have a dog who likes to eat stones, as some dogs do, I would advise to put some crystals in a little bag and fasten the bag
cord,
the cord somewhere where the dog can't reach or can't eat, bite, or if you have it in a pouch under his bed, that will work as well.
So with the Reiki Crystal Grid then, is it just a different way of doing distance healing?
Well, yeah, what you do with a grid, with any grid, when you are creating a grid, you already have planned why you're doing the grid, for whom is the grid, what crystals will resonate best for the task in hand. So in Reiki distant healing, ideally you have clear quartz points. These tumbled crystals will work in a pinch as well. We're all aware of the financial strain everybody seems to be under at this moment, and also resources. And with the Reiki Crystal Grid, you place the points pointing in
To the centre.
To the centre, and in the centre you will have a master crystal.
Right.
Nothing goes without a master crystal.
Is that just a bigger version?
It's usually a bigger version if you can. You can use a pyramid as well. You can actually buy specific generators, Reiki generators or something along those lines. What it is, it's a crystal shaped in a pyramid, a four-sided pyramid, and on each side is a symbol of Reiki engraved,
Right.
including the base. So you have 5 symbols already in that generator, and the generator has 4 points pointing out, attached to the generator. I have one with me actually. And you place that one in the middle, or another crystal in the middle, and you place the other crystals in a circle around the master crystal.
Well, we'll go into the detail when we actually create one, which would be absolutely fabulous. But so going back to my question, is it really just a different way of doing distant healing? Is it a way of doing distant healing when you're not actually doing the healing? You know, where is it different to me just sitting, connecting with my client and doing a Reiki session, either with or without crystals around my chair?
You use a crystal grid to save yourself time.
Okay.
Once a crystal grid is set up and is fully charged, it just runs 24/7.
So it's constantly
It
saving
is
energy
constantly, yeah.
Oh,
So
that's-
you do, when you, especially you have 2 or 3 people, and you really are short of time, and you're doing it on a volunteering basis, you use a grid for all 3 people. You have like on a piece of paper, you write the names down, place it under the crystal, You use all the energy, the Reiki energy you would use for the client, you put onto that
You
grid,
charge it.
you charge it,
Yeah.
and then it runs.
Fabulous. Well, that's really helpful, Anja, so I really appreciate that explanation. It's very helpful, and let's have a go, shall we? Shall we create
Absolutely.
a crystal grid and
Yes.
see what happens?